Hey everybody, what's happening? It's Brian. Getting this question a lot. Brian, what happened to Vemma? Vemma is, for those that don't know, if you're looking, well, of course, if you're on the internet searching for what happened to Vemma, I'm sure you know what Vemma is, but a relatively successful network marketing company based around an energy drink and health and nutrition. One of the great things about Vemma is it had almost a cult-like following when it came to its products, okay? So what in the world happened? I mean, how do you have a company that is successful, that everybody, well, everybody doesn't love it, but you know what I mean. The people that use the products love it, the distributors are happy. What in the world happened? Vemma was the victim of the United States federal government getting sick and tired of something that is running rampant through our industry, and it's something known as internal consumption. And guys, this is a problem for you. It's a problem for me. It's a problem for anyone in our industry, because this right here, the government is getting very, very sensitive about this, and it's going to start creating us a lot of problems if we don't get our arms and our heads around it quick. Here's what internal consumption means. Internal consumption means that overwhelmingly the only people buying the product or service are the distributors. And shockingly, that represents a very, very large portion of the industry. In fact, the industry average now across the board is 2.5 to 1. There's 2.5 retail customers for every one business builder or distributor on average through the industry. Now, what that really means is that a lot of companies are much closer to 1 to 1, and there's a handful of companies that are up around 5 to 1, 6 to 1. I don't know what Vemma's ratio was. I don't know. But I do know that the government decided that their ratio was low enough that Vemma's business model, as it was constructed, was basically a pyramid. I don't agree with them, but that was their judgment. So because of that now, the rest of us need to be very, very, very concerned about this. If in your company the primary, income is based around an auto ship from distributors, you're in trouble. If your income is primarily based around sign-up fees, you're in trouble. The government is not putting up with this anymore. And they just took a company that had been in business for over 10 years and shut them down because they weren't focused, in the government's opinion, this company was not focused on the marketing of their products to the retail customer. It was all, in their opinion, internal consumption, and that's a huge, huge problem. I'm going to solidly recommend now that if you are investigating what happened to Vemma, it's probably because you're looking into the industry, you're looking into other companies, or getting involved in network marketing industry. I'm going to strongly suggest that you look for a company that has a 20 to 1 ratio of customers to business builders or better. Okay? Get rid of that 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1. Look, I was involved with the company for almost 10 years. The average distributor had 6 customer points, and a service could be as many as 4 points. So that company literally had a ratio of 2 to 1. On average, 2 services for every 1 customer, and overwhelmingly both of those services came out of that distributor's home. So it's closer to a 1 to 1 ratio, really, if you look at it. That's dangerous. It's dangerous for your long-term future. It's dangerous for the possibilities. It's dangerous for what the government can come in and do. Look for a company that is a 20 to 1 ratio or better. How do you find that out? Ask around to the people. When you go to the opportunity meeting, ask around. Talk to the people about how many personal customers do you have? How many personal clients do you have? How many people are you selling your product at retail to? If the answer that you get overwhelmingly is, well, everybody's different. If they avoid the question, that's an issue. If your answer is 2, 3, 4, 5, that's bad, bad, bad. Now, if you go up and ask the guy in the front of the room and he tells you 20 or 30, okay, fine. There's a reason why he's a leader in the company. I'm talking talk to the average distributor and ask them how many retail customers they have. In my company, our distributor to customer ratio is 400 to 1. We have 400 retail customers for every 1 business builder. This right here means long-term security. If you want to find out what this looks like, click on the link below. It'll take you to workingwithbrian.com. I'll show you the blueprint of my company and how it works and why it's important to you. But whether you start with, my company or another company or any company, I don't care. Whether you're in a company now, whatever the case is, you need to look for a ratio. If you don't If your company now, not you, if your company as a whole doesn't have a ratio of customers to distributors that's better than 20 to 1, you're going to be in deep poo. There's so many advantages and so many great things about having a ratio like this, not the least of which is if you have a 40 to 1, a better than a 20 to 1 customer ratio. Look, in most companies where it's literally 1 to 1, that means that only the business builders are buying the product and service. If all the commissions are generated by the sale of product or service, and I sure hope they are, or you're really in trouble, then that means if your distributor leaves, so does your customer, or so does your revenue. So your revenue is going to be purely dependent upon your ability to recruit, and your recruiting to outpace attrition. But if you have a ratio like I do in my company of 400 to 1, if this distributor quits, there's still 399 paying customers that are using the service that are contributing to my residual income every single month. Find a company with a large ratio, avoid internal consumption. What happened to Vemma? The answer of what happened to Vemma is that the government finally caught up with our industry and said enough is enough. If you're not focused on customer acquisition, you're done. And that's what happened to Vemma.